There's nothing you can say. You just need to just not engage with someone when they're like that.
Okay, so that is gonna be, you need to watch the whole entire video, please. Okay, listen to her commentary, but also like her reactions to the girl that's getting arrested. But pay attention to what she's explaining, okay? Because she is literally explaining, she's gonna tell you like when someone is like that, you don't engage with them. AKA, you're putting that's the perfect example of extinction. All right. When people are in a meltdown and they're at that point where they will say anything to try to kill you with words, that is when you know that they are not to be, just you put them on extinction. Do not reinforce what they have saying because you're adding fuel to their fire and they're already a volcano. And it's like, no, I know you're safe. You're just using words right now. You're not harming yourself. You're not harming me with words. So I'm just going to ignore you. And I'll acknowledge you whenever I feel like I need to. And because that's what it is. You need to let them calm the fuck down. You don't add fuel to the fire, okay? That is what an extinction, that she's having an extinction burst. All right. So, from a behavioral perspective, as a BCBA, a board certified behavioral analyst who applies ABA, which stands for Applied Behavioral Analysis, and what we do is we actually shape maladaptive behaviors to more socially appropriate and significant for the learner. Okay, socially significant as in they are also in a society and there's other people in the society, so it's our job to make sure that they're successful, whoever is successful, because we're usually working with a learner and then we're usually working with the other part of society who where they're sharing the same space. Okay, so you need to understand behavior is looked at from two perspectives: who's engaging in the behavior and whose behavior does it have an effect on. It's not a one-way street. It's not like, oh, so you're trying to change your child's behavior? Yeah, because guess what? Who's taking care of that child? The freaking parent, the teachers for 6 hours a day. Okay, school got the first 6, mom's got the next 6, and then everyone sleep if they are asleep. Okay, you guys are not thinking about the 24-hour perspective of a learner. All right, it goes beyond school. It goes transitions to the home because then they're sleeping, then it's school again for 5 days straight of 7 days. That's their whole life. All right. So you need to see that lens and the perspective, like understanding, hey, this kid doesn't have much opportunities throughout their whole day because they're in your environment. So you actually have to teach them the manners so that they can carry over at home, because at school there's more people and that means more socializing, so you have to be more aware of how your behavior affects others. Okay, raising your hand so you're not rude, not cutting someone else that's also in line to use the bathroom, even though you got to use the bathroom. Okay, well, this person has to use the bathroom too and you have to wait. Like, it is not fair for them to have to cut the line when other people have the same behavior that they're waiting for too. All right. But that's the whole point. You cannot see one thing from one lens. And like, this is what ABA is. It gives everyone in the environment to understand everybody's perspective. That's what neurodiversity affirming practice is. You understand that there is somebody in neurodiverse in this environment and there's neurotypicals in this environment, or maybe they're in an environment with 20 other people that need to be mindful, and we have to be aware of, because not everyone is going to be mindful of their behavior. That's a lot of people to behaviors to be mindful of. So it's our job to be able to meet in the middle ground for both ends. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's like, it's a shaping process for everybody, especially since everyone will be sharing the same environment. And you have to think of the whole day, all right? And opportunities, all right? That is why ABA is considered intensive, because we are with them longer duration so we could support them in different environments to generalize the skills naturalistically in their environment as they reach those contingencies, okay? So, for instance, zipping up the coat. Okay, I worked 9 to 3:30 in the school. You know how many times her and I had the opportunity to practice zipping the coat, that ADL skills? At least 4 times a day. At least. That is an important behavioral cusp for our learners to apply back at home. All right. Think about it. They arrive. Oh, they got to take their jacket off in the school. Put it in the locker. Go to the thing, and then guess what? There's like a snack break or a recess break. So that's another opportunity. And then they got to put it on, and guess what? They got to take it off. So that's another 3 times right there. And then guess what? When they come back in from recess, they have to put it on, and you see, it's the same routine. So, and then they go home, and that's another opportunity for them to practice that ADL skill. And it doesn't need to be in the IEP to practice it. It's common sense. Like, hello, if your learner is in their environment and they're struggling, that's a behavior they have to learn to start to navigate independently, because this is something in their natural environment that they're going to contact. So you have to be mindful, like, oh, they don't have the skill. All right, every single time we have an opportunity to get this skill, because it's a skill that needs, it's a crucial skill to be mastered, that's going to influence their life as an adult later on. Do you see? This kid has experienced having to take on and off the coat in kindergarten 5 times, and then they're in school till they're 18. So do you see what I'm saying? Like those crucial skills that they're going to be to be needing to be knowing in the environment that they're in successfully. That's why consistency is key, because we need to arrange the environment for them to be mindful of their environment so that they could succeed. Everyone could succeed, not just one person. That's the thing. Nobody's thinking about everybody in the room. If you are sharing the room with somebody, your perspective should be heard. Everyone needs to hear how everyone influences their life so that they could be mindful, like, oh, maybe you know what? I am probably like complaining too much. So I'll be mindful of that. Like, is this something that's going to bother me in 5 minutes? No, then don't worry about it. Is it going to be something that's going to bother me in 5 days? No, then don't worry about it. It's the 5 day, it's the 5 minute rule. It's like, is this going to affect my life? No. Do I have 5 minutes to spare? Absolutely. Why not? Like, that's a highlight. It's outside of your typical norm. So an inconvenience should be embraced. All right. You shift inconvenience to embracing, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to be embraced by a new environment or a new stigma or a new opportunity or a new perspective or a new, like, someone in your network. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, anyways, that is a perfect example of why you place people on extinction, especially when you know that they're trying to harm you. And harming words are words, but words, when you have a trust with somebody and that trust is broken essentially, you know that there would be no coming back from that. So it's like if somebody was speaking to me like that and they were on my, especially at 33, like if that's what you really think of me at this point of our lives that we're sharing together, wow, say no more. Like I would never want to be that feeling for somebody, especially for them to pair that with me and then to have to live. If you're feeling like that of me right now, there is no future. Like, oh my God, I would never want to continue to pair myself with something so negative that I know it influences someone's life for them to actually try to kill me with words to describe my behavior. Like, wow, okay, well, I I now I understand that you've never understood my perspective. That's what it means. Like, why are you gonna stay with someone where you guys are butting heads all the time? For what? Like, you just do not understand my way of thinking, and my way of thinking influences my behavior. So that means that you're constantly going to be upset with something that I'm asking of because you see it a different perspective and I see a different perspective, because my perspective is actually communicating my needs and having to be more for you to be aware of how your behavior influences me. And then I share, like, hey, instead of doing that, could you just leave that out? Like, moving forward, can we just agree to disagree in this moment, that you will, if that bothers me and you're violating me, and then when I share something that bothers me and you're using that as a weapon against me when you have an opportunity to stab me again, it's like, wow, I just told you that your words were actual wounds to me, and it takes me days for me to unfeel those hard feelings because I had to swallow that. Because now you're gonna act like you never said those words that hurt me so that, like, you, it's like a dagger. And it's like when you have a wound, like if you pull your I stem off my cuticles, so like my fingers get infected sometimes, and it gets swollen and it's very sensitive, and that takes like a week, like well, even like almost a whole month one time for my finger to go back to normal. So I every day it was like an inconvenience for a month. All right, so like when you use negative words, when you try to use your words to hit somebody, impact them emotionally, and it's off of their character, it's just like, wow, that's fine. Like, thanks for letting me know exactly how you feel, so you're not wasting and I'm not investing any more of my time into someone that I didn't know thought of me that low, so low of me. So it's like, because I would never want to have somebody in my life the way you explained how I feel in your life. Like, oh my gosh, let me do you the favor and make it easy for both of us and just dip. Like, I'm all set. Checked out. Thanks. Next. Thank you. Next. But like I said, it's a shaping process. So it's like once you come to that realization and then you apply it to your society and understand, like, hey, there's people that coexist outside of you, and just respect them when you're in the environment. Like, be mindful of the people in your environment at all times. Whether it's an old person, you're going to get up and give them the seat or try to help them open a door. It's just mannerisms. Like, be the kindness that you wish that you would receive if you were struggling in public without having to ask for help. Just be that halo for somebody, because you never know. You might actually influence someone to like be like, damn, there are nice people, and I'm just having a moment right now. Like, not everyone is mean, and I'm not alone, and I don't deserve to be here. Look at the stranger just says something nice. Do you see what I'm saying? Be the kindness in the field and at home and in your community, in your society. That's it. Smile. It's contagious.